There is this weird urgency in the air, like my life is a group project and I forgot to do my part. And now I'm about to get detention from the universe. What are you building? What's your next move? What's your vision? Dude, I don't know. I don't even freaking know what I want for dinner. I've been trying to answer that question for 3 days, and I'm still staring at a bag of spinach like it's a threat, and there's a rotting avocado over there that's got me on a deadline. You think I've got a 5-year plan? No. Honestly, that bag of spinach has been judging me from the fridge like it's my life coach. I've named it Brenda. Brenda thinks I'm a disappointment. Okay, so this is what midlife feels like to me. A freaking hallway. A long ass beige hallway with a bunch of closed doors, peeling paint, and a flickering fluorescent light that gives my depression the lighting it deserves. And I'm just standing there, knowing that I should pick a door, but I'm also deeply aware that I'm too damn tired to walk into another room that only has a growth opportunity. You know, I walk in and I'm handed a name tag and a PDF workbook that's so obviously written by ChatGPT called Awaken the Power of Your Inner CEO. There's like a stock photo of a woman laughing alone with her salad on the cover. I don't know, like it told her a joke. I wonder what the kale said that was so funny. So I opened up the document, and the first step was to optimize your brand essence. So I did. I added more coffee and a little bit less violence. Now, I have left one version of my life behind, but the next one hasn't sent a welcome packet yet. So what the hell? Nobody tells you how disorienting it is to reach the middle of your life and feel like you're back at the beginning. Only this time you've got just enough experience to overthink it, but not enough certainty to commit. You're wiser, but also weirder. But maybe that's just me. And it's not just pressure, it's physics. The energy that it takes to try something new is different now. You can't just be like, I think I'll go back to school without immediately needing a nap and Googling, can you get sciatica from ambition? So here's the thing. This part right here, this beige ass hallway, this is sacred. It's not empty. It's not wasted. It's the part where you stop performing for a future and start listening for a life that actually fits. Don't let anyone rush you out of this. So yeah, some of us are out here trying to pick a door, but what nobody tells you is what happens if you open the wrong one. That is something that no one prepares you for, but it matters. You'll want to stick around for that part of the chat. Now, when you're younger, picking a door is easy. Yeah, you just choose something, try it out, and if it doesn't work, cool, you just bail. You try the next one. You've got time, energy, and enough optimism to keep believing that every wrong door was progress, that it was growth. You could pick the wrong city, the wrong partner, the wrong job, and it was all just material for a funny story later. You could pivot, burn it all down, start over with just a suitcase, and fall in love with a guy named Chad whose only ambition in life is to be an elite parkour athlete. And he lives in a shipping container that he calls the dojo. But then one day something shifts and every decision feels like a commitment ceremony. Like I have to pick the right door on the first try or risk being stuck in a breakout room called Finding Your Purpose for the next decade. It's not curiosity anymore, it's calculus. I used to take leaps. Now I take magnesium and a probiotic because God forbid I leap with an inflamed gut. For real, though, the only leap I'm taking now is when I sneeze and forget to clench. If you know, you know. Every door feels like it has consequences. I can't just wait and see what happens anymore because that feels too reckless. Because what actually happens is I end up sleep deprived, organizing my junk drawer at 3 a.m. and wondering if I accidentally manifested arthritis by storing blocked energy in my root chakra and eating gluten. Every new beginning comes with side effects, paperwork, and at least one friend going, "Are you sure?" while clutching their emotional support Stanley Cup. She's hydrated, branded, and spiritually bankrupt, but she's doing great. Nobody warns you about the exact moment in life when decision-making stops feeling like a choose-your-own adventure and starts feeling like defusing a bomb. I've got fewer do-overs left in the tank and way less energy to recover when I screwed up. And it's not just fear, it's math, baby. Risk versus recovery. Because at this stage, choosing wrong doesn't feel cute. It feels expensive. It costs time, money, energy, and a chunk of my already fragile belief that I know what I'm doing. I miss the days when bad decisions ended with glitter in weird places and some really great gossip. Now it's insomnia, 12 abandoned shopping carts, and one very suspicious mole on my back. Here's the thing. The problem isn't that I can't change. The problem is that every door now feels like a test. Pick the right one and you might get stability. Pick wrong and you're just a middle-aged intern in your own life. And yet somehow I'm still out here wondering how to admit to myself that I'm not chasing a dream anymore. Seriously, stop asking me, what's next, Sheila? I'm really tired of performing for a future that's uncertain. That's what all this pressure really is. Pick a lane, pick a purpose, pick a Pilates instructor who doubles as a spiritual guide. There's this cult of momentum. Everyone is obsessed with progress. It's like if you're not actively ascending, you must be decaying in some productivity graveyard. There's no room for lingering here, no room for just hanging about and looking around. Oh no, you must not stand still and say, I don't know yet. All of that looks really suspicious. Watch it, someone's gonna pop up and start saging the hallway, mumbling about how to manifest me a direction. The villain here isn't laziness, it's narrative urgency. That little voice saying, if you're not moving, you're failing. It shows up dressed as a bullet journal, hustle hacks, a 5-year plan, and a discount code for CBD gummies. But underneath, it's just fear. The kind that shows up when you finally slow down enough to realize that you might not be okay. I don't know what's next, and I'm done pretending that that's a failure. The obsession with forward motion is killing our ability to pause, to breathe, to mourn, to not frickin' know. We've been taught that motion equals meaning, that if you're standing still, you're failing. So we perform momentum even when we're lost because looking stuck feels scarier than being uncertain. Momentum started as a habit, but eventually it turned into a compulsion. I wasn't choosing to move forward. I was just trying to look like I knew where I was going. Like I once joined a networking group at 5 a.m. on Tuesdays because someone said that it would be good for visibility. Visibility where? I don't know, and I never found out. But I did meet a guy named Trent who sells NFTs of inspirational quotes, so networking? I have spent years performing for the future. My whole life, actually. Crafting the version of me I hoped would eventually feel like enough. I mean, does that hit for anyone else? Like, have you ever looked around at the life that you built and realized you were just performing the whole time? You're not living it. You're not loving it. You're just hoping that it would work out eventually? Great. Let's go ahead and trauma bond in the comments today. I have spent my life saying yes to things that I hated because they might lead somewhere. Acting interested in jobs, hobbies, and relationships that bored me senseless because I thought that they would get me closer to a version of myself who finally felt like a success. At some point, it stopped being about building a life and it started being about proving one. The title, the schedule, the curated morning routine and matching throw pillows. The one who always knew what came next and never had to explain herself. But here's the thing. I was confusing performing my life for ambition. And honestly, it made me exhausted. So no, I don't know what's next. And I'm not rushing to pick a door just because I want to prove I'm okay. Right now, I'm staying in the hallway, not because I'm stuck, but because I'm paying attention. And honestly, that feels smarter than rushing into another room just to say that I've moved. Right? I'm not lost. I'm not performing. And if the hallway makes you uncomfortable, then you don't have to wait for me. I'm not in limbo. I'm on strike. I'll pick a door when I find one that doesn't smell like bullshit. Until then, I'm unionizing with my nervous system and eating string cheese in peace. I'm at a weird spot, I guess. I mean, maybe you are too. So who are we when we stop pretending to be okay, but we still haven't figured out what else to be? So I guess I'm still in transition, like I'm molting or something. Like any minute, I guess I'm supposed to emerge with butterfly wings and boundaries. Meanwhile, I'm in emotional sweatpants, forgetting what day it is, and wondering if this is just going to be my personality now. My daily uniform is like this robe, sock, hat combo that I'm calling peak transitional chic. I am not grieving my old life anymore. I'm grieving the version of me who always had a spreadsheet, a timeline, a plan. I used to know what I wanted. Now I have absolutely no idea. I just want a week where my only cravings aren't revenge and carbs. This is probably the part where I'm supposed to get inspirational with you, right? Like give you some kind of 5-step plan, a worksheet, maybe a green smoothie recipe. But honestly, here's what's barely holding me together right now. I'm not reclaiming anything. I'm recovering, and there's a difference. I'm drinking coffee like it's a coping mechanism because it is. I am saying maybe to everything until something actually feels like a yes. I'm building scaffolding, not skyscrapers. I'm closing every tab that includes the word optimize, and I'm trusting that my desire isn't dead. It's just hiding under a weighted blanket that's made of burnout and whatever's left of my attention span. This isn't a transformation montage. It's not a glow up. It's the weird in between part that nobody ever told me about. The shape shift where everything familiar dissolves, but nothing new has arrived yet. The Chrysalis Phase, but with Wi-Fi and joint pain. But what if the transformation already happened? What if I didn't notice it? What then? This isn't a midlife crisis. It's a midlife intermission. And I'm pretty sure that someone peed in my dressing room. So no, I don't have a 5-year plan. I have a Tuesday. And even that's tentative depending upon how strong my coffee is and whether Mercury's in retro rage. I have some clarity about what I won't do again. I have boundaries that are finally less suggestions and more warnings. Think less post-it note and more electric fence. So if you're in the hallway right now, staring at closed doors, wondering what's behind them, terrified to pick the wrong one, I see you. But you're not failing. You're not broken. You're becoming. And becoming doesn't have to have a launch date. It has small moments, soft curiosity, the guts to sit still long enough to hear yourself again. And eventually, maybe, the lights will flicker on, and when they do, you'll still have the key because you never lost it. You just needed time to remember where you put it. You're just becoming. The hallway isn't a failure. It's where the noise finally stops long enough for you to hear your own damn voice. So let yourself echo and then scream the hell back. Because here's the deal. Even if I do find the right door, that part of me that's whispering, "You're not ready yet," that voice doesn't shut up just because I made a decision. And if that hits for you too, well, we need to talk about what happens when waiting starts to feel safer than living. And we're going to get to that right here.